up, everybody? Getting ready to do a little show here. Got the bat signal out. That's good. And looks like things are pretty good. I don't think it'll take us too long to get started here. How's everybody feeling out there?
I'm feeling good.
All right. I got... there we go. There's a first. Todd. Hello. Just making sure I got all my right windows open and closed. You gotta do both of those things. All right. I'm gonna make sure that the Facebooks are out. And then we'll get going.
Live. What's up, Todd?
There we go.
My color looks really good today, I gotta say. Changed my color a bit. Look nice. And, you know, I shaved. My hair. The coif is not looking that great
it's
right
not
now.
bouncing or behaving.
Yeah.
All right.
Need to get a haircut. I gotta get a haircut. Because, you know, gotta have that good-looking hair for the Beeple party.
Right.
You know?
But you gotta wait just a little bit. You gotta do like
no,
a week,
I get it
before.
now, then it'll be nice and perfect by the Beeple party time. You know?
I gotta shave my head like 2 days before.
Right.
To make sure I don't look like I do right now. It's awful. It's really bad. I look very bad underneath with the spots of hair coming back in. You know.
Right.
It's hard to see. Yeah, that's awful.
You look great, Dave.
I gotta cover that up with the old Camp Mograph beanie.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Looks like we're good to do a show. I was just double checking my stream thing. I'm assuming we're online. I mean, Todd's here.
I mean, I see it on Mograph TV, so...
All right. There we go. All right. Let's do a show.
Let's do it.
Here we go. What's up and welcome... Oh my gosh, I can't speak today. It was one of those things I was like, don't screw up, and then I screwed up. What's up and welcome to another Mograph Mocast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt, and joining us this week is the super talented Kelcey Steele.
Hey guys.
And Mograph is a supplement to our site, mograph.com, which is a motion graphics tutorial site with tutorials, plugins, podcasts, and other Mograph stuff. And on the show, we talk about everything ranging from motion graphics to Cinema 4D, After Effects plugins, render engines, doing business, doing taxes, being a contractor, or working for the man. You can email us info@mograph.com. Let us know what you think about the show, questions, comments, concerns, queries, grievances, artist suggestions, and show topic ideas. We're on mograph.com, mograph.com/live if you want to see the schedule, which is a little thin. I should probably work on that.
We should work on that.
I think I only have one person in the books. It's just like...
Dave's been busy.
There's a lot of stuff...
Busy.
Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff going on this year, and like I'm trying not to schedule too far in advance.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, we might need that date or whatever. We've been teasing this tour thing, and hopefully we have some more information on that soon. We're working hard to get that going.
We're not going to be on the 13th. We may be on the 14th, that Tuesday.
What are you talking about?
March 13th and 14th. Because we'll be at the People thing.
I meant to tell you, we weren't going to do a show that week because it's spring break.
Yay!
I forgot.
Cool.
Yeah. Trying to at least take the holidays off. Like, we used to, like, do shows on, like, full-blown holidays, and we're like, okay, we can take those off. I think it's okay. Yeah. I think we'll be all right.
We're one of the last few, podcasts that are still around. We can take a week off.
Yeah, we're turning into boomers,
Right.
So our podcast will be turning into a boomer soon. All right, so if you want to check the schedule and stuff, make sure you go to mograph.com/live, mograph.com/TV if you want to check out Mograph TV, which is a 24/7 live streaming animation show. And Matt's pointing at it.
I have some very exciting things that I want to do with Mograph TV over the next year. I don't know whether I'm going to do any of them, but I have exciting things. So, make sure and sign up for our newsletter that we will
have a
eventually.
newsletter?
I'm gonna start doing newsletters as well.
Okay, good. Because I got really tired of doing newsletters.
So yeah,
there's a lot coming. Let's see.
I'm very excited about the rest of the year. I'm very excited.
And
I've got
NAB.
one project that I'm on right now, and then it's MoGraph the rest of the year.
And NAB's first.
NAB is first, yeah.
Yes. And Kelcey, you're going to be at NAB, right?
I am, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what you're presenting on? Or
I have no idea yet.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's early. It's okay.
I've got some ideas, but I don't have anything locked in yet.
Those dates come fast, I'll tell you, especially when you're presenting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I almost prefer like not presenting live because I can edit, you know.
Mhm.
It's tough. It's a lot of work to do that and then to practice an hour-long talk, you know. But you've had practice before. You've done events with Maxon before, including the live stream. That was last year, I think, right? Or you've done a couple.
I've done two, yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be my first time presenting live, which we'll see how that goes.
Got to practice.
Yeah.
Practice. Yeah. Once you find out what day you're presenting and stuff, that's when the real pressure comes. Because if it's the first day, then you're like, okay, cool, I got it over with. I can party the rest of the time. But if you're the last day, it's like you get stressed the entire time.
Right. It's like, I don't really want to drink yet. Can't drink until my presentation is done.
Right.
Yeah. A couple other real quick items I wanted to mention. I guess just one other thing is future proof, and we'll have a little bit more information on this later on. I need to dig in a little bit, and maybe even Brodor could come in and talk to us about this a little bit. But I got an email from Ed Cheatham from the Department of Motion Design at Ringling, talking about Future Proof 23 being held at Ringling College, and the goal is to prepare the next generation of visual communicators through education, inspiration, and connection. I said we'll be having a 25 industry-leading alumni. We'll have 25 industry-leading alumni returning to talk to our current student body. Man, I can't speak today. The speakers and panelists include 25 alumni who work at a range of companies across the United States, including Apple, Buck, Cravings by Christy Teigen, Dash, Future Deluxe, Google, Hue Plus, Cry, IBM, Jib Jab, LinkedIn, Microsoft, NBC News, Nickelodeon, Noodle, Pixel Park, Robinhood, Scholar, TikTok, We Are Royal, Winry.
Dang, yo.
Yeah.
It's all actually just one person. They've just worked at all those places.
Right.
It does sound like a stacked lineup.
Right.
Win Reality, WWE, and YouTube. Wow. Gosh. So that sounds like it could be interesting. So, you know, I said I'd spread the word on that. If you want to get more info, you can go to ringlingfutureproof.com for more info on that. So, and if we have more info.
When is that? Isn't that this week?
It is.
Yes.
2/27 through 3/04. So it's that's a little over a week.
Thursday, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
just wanted to put the news out there, trying to put more meetup news and stuff out there, because now that things are returning to what I put in air quotes as normal, you know, we might want to meet up with some friends and get out of the house a little bit. So, yeah. All right. Kelcey, let's talk about you and your background. I'm really excited to talk about the Rick and Morty stuff, but we'll wait for a minute and go back to the beginning. It's always interesting to hear people's stories about how they ended up in MoGraph, because, you know, unless you're Cameron, who was on last week, you may not have thought this is what you wanted to do when you were like 12 years old. So tell us a little bit more about that journey. Did you start in art or maybe photography or something? Did you get into it as a kid, or is this something that came along later?
It came along later. I picked out SCAD when I was in middle school.
Nice.
I used to ride horses, and they had an ad in the back of a magazine that I used to read.
That's
it
so
was,
funny.
It was an advertisement for the equestrian program at SCAD.
I didn't know they had that. Oh, you know what?
Wow. That does sound vaguely familiar, but maybe it was you I heard that from.
So, funny story. EJ and I were in New York, right? We were in New York for NAB East, and EJ's just bouncing me around from brewery to brewery like he does.
Like he does, yeah.
Like he does, yeah. And we met a random person who went to SCAD, just
That's right.
Who knew? And then he told us that they had an equestrian thing. I thought that was so crazy. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have a really robust equestrian program. I think they've been national champions a few times.
That's so interesting.
Wow.
So I picked SCAD for that reason. Did less than a quarter on the equestrian team.
Okay.
I went for graphic design, and I actually took a couple of metals and jewelry classes, and
That's cool.
loved it, but kind of figured that was probably going to just need to be a hobby. And then I had kind of a mix-up with one of my prerequisites, and ended up in a motion graphics class that was actually like it was a 300 level course, and I was in there with absolutely no experience. I had never opened After Effects at all. And it was really great. Like, it shows you what a good community is. I had another classmate come in on a Saturday and give me a crash course in After Effects.
Wow. So you didn't say I got in here by accident. You just straight up dove in.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it. I really enjoyed After Effects, and learning 3D came later, but yeah.
So what kind of
funny.
stuff did you do in that class to start? Like, what was your deep dive?
Oh, we had to do like a music video, and mine was not great, obviously, but it kept me from having to drop the class, which was good.
That's
Did you
cool.
get to pick who you wanted to do the music video for? Was it like, could you pick anybody or?
Yeah, I think I did Seven Nation Army, maybe?
Nice.
Trying to
Okay.
remember which song it was. It was a White Stripes song.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one has a good music video from Michel Gondry, right?
Is it?
It's the one with the like circles of drum playing. You know what I'm talking about? He does all the in-camera
know that one.
effects. Anyway,
Huh.
so what did you do for that then?
Just basic shape layers. It was kind of my, like, we're going to give you a pass here because we know you don't know what you're doing.
So what was the next step then? So
It's my first day. It's my first day.
Well, the next step was to go back and take all the classes that I should have taken before that one.
Oh, that's funny.
Did you end up having to do that?
Yeah, I mean, like, I ended up switching majors and just completely
That's
took a
so
different
amazing.
course.
They shouldn't have made you take the first ones if you're already in the 300, you know? It's kind of
Right.
like, hey, if I can do that, why do I need to take the first two?
Oh, I needed.
Like testing out.
That's so funny.
And what about 3D? Well, I guess before we go into that, so from college, where did you end up going?
I moved straight to Atlanta and was working at a studio called Radical Axis. I was really lucky to get that job right out of school.
Were you?
And that's where I was at for a couple of years.
Let me jump back. How long had you been going to SCAD before you accidentally took this 300 level course?
I think it was my freshman year.
Okay.
Freshman or
Okay,
sophomore
so
year.
it's
Okay,
probably
so-
your first year there. Okay.
Yes.
So it wasn't
And
at
then you
the end.
Man.
Start over.
Yeah, right.
No,
I
but
was
I
gonna
ended
say,
up taking
had you been
a
there a
lot of
couple of years and then you
classes.
just completely switched majors? That's an expensive changeover.
Yeah, I mean, I was on like a 5-year plan.
Funny. That's so funny.
So you went to the place in Atlanta, and what was the name of it again?
Radical Axis.
And were you
Radical
doing
Axis.
After Effects, or were you already into 3D at that point?
I had gotten slightly into 3D. They didn't teach Cinema 4D when I was in the program at SCAD. So I took a couple of classes from the animation program so that I could pick up Maya.
Okay.
So I did a little bit of Maya in that first job.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you enjoy it? Did you enjoy it?
I mean, I love 3D.
Yeah.
Any 3D I like. I ended up teaching myself Cinema 4D, which, I mean, a lot of us do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that's probably what you were getting at, Matt. Is the Maya stuff is like frustrating sometimes, to say the least.
I've been playing around with my I bought one of the junior licenses or whatever they're called, the indie license, right?
Mm-hmm.
The junior license. And I've been playing around with it for fun. There are things that when I'm back in it, there are things that I remember that I really liked about modeling in Maya versus Cinema. There are certain things that I'm just like, oh man, it's like workflow stuff that I learned in Maya that I brought over to Cinema 4D.
Same, yeah. I mean, one of the things that I've done is I've pretty highly customized my C4D layout. And one of the things that I've done is given myself the pop-up menu that can come up.
Yeah.
Because I remembered really enjoying that from Maya.
I actually don't enjoy it. I don't like it. Like, I really like, I want some keyboard shortcuts to where I can easily go into face, edge, and point mode, versus like having to right click and move your mouse to the little dialogue thing, I'm sure muscle memory. I'm on this job right now, and so I've been kind of like art directing this scene that I built with an Unreal editor, and he's really big in Maya. And him and I spent all Friday just working on one scene and like going through, and like he was in Maya, and it was just so impressive to watch him work because he'd been in it for so long, and it's just like click, 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 and I'm like, oh man, I'm so jealous of how fast you are.
Yeah, I'm actually concerned about my next presentation just because I have so many custom keys assigned and all my layout is just the way I like it. I'm like, I gotta go back to a default and start.
Nah, just export it. Just export it and just make sure you change it back.
Well,
or mention it to me and I'll make sure that I change it back.
Yeah, but you want to use a regular layout for the people at home. That's kind of one of the things you're supposed to do. So the advice I would give is just Shift C everything. You know what I mean? Just like, it's a great example, Shift C, and then people who haven't seen that before are going to be like, oh man, it's so easy to Shift C.
That's kind of how I work a lot of the time anyway. I don't actually even know where half the commands are.
Exactly. I do the same thing. Or, what I actually do a lot of time, if you drag something up to the toolbar and you don't save the layout, then obviously it doesn't come back up in the default next time you open Cinema. So all the time, like if I'm say doing a whole bunch of like connect objects and delete or something like that where I have to go through and do a whole bunch of stuff, I'll just drag it up there so I have the button, because you can drag it from the Shift C up there, which is awesome, and then have it up there until you're done or Cinema crashes. But anywho,
that's funny.
Yeah, I have a few things saved as my default scene. I've got one of the new Redshift materials and then the older version, and I just have that saved in as my startup scene, so that when you double click on the older version, it brings it up in the Espresso style editor.
Cool.
And I have a bump map and displacement node already preloaded in with the settings that I like.
Yeah.
That's something I still don't get, but I'm not a big Redshift person either. So
yeah.
So that was going to be my next question, is what render engine, but I think we answered that. Do you use multiple engines, or are you mainly Redshift?
I'm mainly Redshift, just because that's what I got for myself and started using.
And what about computer-wise?
I've got an interesting setup. I've got two computers right next to each other, so I can just pivot from one computer to the other. I've got a PC that my fiance and I built.
Cool.
It's getting a little outdated at this point, but
yeah.
And then I just have a super old iMac.
Nice. Get yourself one of those new Mac Studios with the M1 Ultra. I like it. I use it.
Yeah, that's probably on the horizon for me. This one's going to need replacing before too long.
Yeah.
Because you are going freelance soon, right?
I am. Yeah, this is going to be my last week with Primal Screen.
Exciting.
It's very exciting.
How long have you been there?
It's been about 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and this will be my third time going full-time freelance.
Third time?
Yep.
So what?
first met everyone at Primal during one of those periods of freelancing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say, what
cool.
like made you go back and forth a couple times? Like, is it because you met the people, or did they entice you? Like, what was the reason for going back? Was it too good to turn down? Did you get tired of contract before, or?
It was more just that they had an opening and remembered me.
That's cool.
And how do you handle, like, since I know it's been 5 years now, but back and forth a little bit, do you still have like regular clients that still hit you up, or are you kind of starting over again now?
I'm kind of starting over, but with more connections, I'd say,
Right.
this time.
Yeah.
How do you go about, what's your process in finding new clients and stuff? I'd love to know from a fellow,
We'll
freelancer.
see. Right now, it's hitting up people that I worked with before. So.
Okay.
And I want to talk about the Rick and Morty stuff, because I'm a big fan of Rick and Morty, but not Justin Roiland.
Justin Roiland.
Just to be clear. So I guess tell us how it all came about, first of all.
Honestly, I don't remember exactly how we landed this pitch, but we had the opportunity to submit a few different ideas, and we did two different ones that both ended up making it through production. One is like traditional 2D animation, and then there was a 3D one that I kind of led that one.
Because I see them on TV. I see those little shorts in between, and sometimes I'm like, okay, is this fan art, or are they commissioning people to do this? So I didn't know if that was a thing, or.
I mean, this was almost fan art.
Yeah.
There are a lot of stuff that didn't make it into the piece that I'd like to go back and do.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That character, Mr. Nimbus, is great.
Uh-huh.
And there's
He
so many
controls the
like
police.
interesting
He controls the
things.
police, yeah.
Yeah.
So many interesting little pieces in just that short section of the episode that would
Yeah.
be really fun to.
I'm watching it right
model.
now. It's really cool.
Are we gonna
Really
get-
cool.
Are we going to get tagged if we bring it up?
I don't know. No, we're education, right?
That's true. That's true. I can always appeal it, right? Where's the best place to bring that up, by the way? On your website?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got the primal screen one.
Oh,
If
okay,
you want to
cool.
see
Yeah,
it.
that's great.
Or I'll throw it
Either
in the
or.
chat. There you go.
Where is the chat?
So did you have to watch a bunch of Rick and Morty episodes in order to?
Yeah.
I did.
Like-
I think I watched the entire season 5 in like a day and a half.
Nice.
But you
I
had
was
never.
trying to pull
You-
ideas and concept.
But you had never seen it before that, though.
No.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So you had to get caught up on all the little nuances and inside jokes and things pretty quick, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and I realized how late to the party I was.
Huh.
Because this was maybe, the beginning of last year? Is that right?
Yeah, it was right as season 5 was coming out, so we got a couple of screeners to watch, and then
That's nice.
yeah, that's the 2D one.
This is the 2D. Okay. Wow. So
what were y'all using for 2D stuff? 2D
yeah,
animation.
that's what I was gonna ask.
I think they were in Toon Boom.
Toon Boom. Man, I got to get into Toon Boom. I've heard amazing things about it.
And this is the other one here. Now,
That
because
was super fun. I really enjoyed working on that.
it is kind of like, I mean, it's very complicated still life, but because it is still life, did that make it a little bit easier because you didn't have to like worry about the animation of any characters?
Yeah, that was definitely a solution for a time constraint.
Mm-hmm.
And I made it very modular so that I could focus on adding detail as I had time. So there
Did
were
you have to
certain
model all the
places-
characters and everything too?
Yeah.
Is it-
We had some 3D files that we got from Adult Swim,
Uh-huh.
but most of that is all stuff that I ended up modeling.
That's cool.
Yeah, I need to bring it up and like pause it a little bit so we can see.
Right?
Yeah. It's just, I love what you did with the depth of field on it too. Is that in camera or did you do that in After Effects and post?
That's in camera. That was just using the focus settings in the Redshift camera.
That's cool.
I really like doing that in camera way better than anything else. And the lasers too. How did you go about doing that?
That is an emissive material, and then I think I just pinned like the beam effect on a couple of nulls that I exported out of C4D.
That's cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, how much
I see.
comping did you have to do?
Yeah.
Quite a bit. I mean, I really like comping my own work because I kind of know where I can cut corners. And,
yeah. Same.
And then not have to explain myself to anyone later.
Yeah, I love that depth of field. Now this part right here, oh my gosh, there's so much going on here. How did you go about, first of all, I guess, building like the rock faces and things?
That I think I just did a lot of like sculpting.
Okay.
I end up using the sculpting tools a lot in C4D. I really like using
the C4D sculpting tools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At some point I'm gonna get into ZBrush. That's definitely
If you've done a lot of C4D sculpting, it's a lot easier to hop into ZBrush, you know, because a lot of the tools are named the same for the most part, you know. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the C4D sculpting stuff. Always have been.
Yeah, and I mean, I use those tools without the sculpting tag all the time, just on regular geometry that I just want to kind of squish around.
Yeah.
That's great. I love the depth of field, and I'm a huge depth of field fan when I'm making something, because it always adds so much that when I'm doing a shot that doesn't require depth of field, I'm always kind of disappointed.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you use it on a big scene, it's going to make it look like a toy, you know, or something small scale. But that's the effect that you had going here, and that was really cool. So have you seen every episode now, for real?
Of season 5.
Like, did it make you a fan? Like, are you going to keep watching it or no?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was fun. It was...
Dave, you're going to hate me. I haven't seen every episode.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't seen whatever the new season is. I've maybe seen like 2 or 3 of them. I got rid of my cable. You know, I was doing YouTube TV or YouTube whatever, and I was like, I'm spending $70 a month on something that I'm not even using, you know? So I just got rid of it.
That's where I watched them, was on YouTube TV.
Did you, what was I going to ask you, Matt? Oh, I was going to ask you if you saw anything in the last season. Did you see anything in the last season? Like
I saw like
episode?
1 or 2 episodes.
Okay, because it doesn't get much better after that. It's not that great, I gotta say, but I still like the show as a whole.
Yeah.
Your website, kelceysteele.com, we should promote that, because now that you're going freelance, you know, you got to get that out there. You got to get the name out there. And I'm going to bring it up so we can look. Do you have a demo or anything we can look at?
Not updated. That is definitely on the to-do list.
Oh man. And you're going freelance soon. You got to have that.
Yeah.
It's so tough to do your demo reel, and I guess it's always good. Like, if you haven't had time to do it, I guess it means you're working. You know, that's what everybody tells me anyway. But
I did take the year off the front, just because.
Yeah. Smart. Yeah.
Yeah. Generally, like, I try and like just have a file that is the demo and just add stuff to it, rather than trying to like reinvent the wheel every time, because it gets exhausting. Like, it's like I don't want to do this again. I don't want to look at my own stuff anyway.
Right.
Yeah, I gotta update the website too, and I am not a enthusiastic web person.
My website is the most simple thing. It's literally just a black screen with my demo reel, and that's it. It's like, that shows off enough, you know. If you want to know more about me, I've got 361 episodes of a podcast. If you want to get to know me, listen to one of those.
Yeah. Well, and people want to just get access to Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, whatever, TikTok. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's just a way to get there, just to go see your work or contact you.
Yeah, my Instagram is very, very sparse right now. That's another thing I need to get going.
So what are your favorite things to work on? What are you doing for fun, I guess, would be the question.
Oh, let's see. I really like product stuff. Like anything that I can model little tiny details in. I think it reminds me of working with miniatures.
Do you do a lot of work with miniatures?
No, but
Oh.
It's easier to do on the computer. That's the thing. You
Yeah.
have to worry about the paints and all the things. The macro world is pretty cool. Have you played like Little Big Planet?
no, I am not much of a gamer.
I don't know if they've had any more than like 2 or 3 of them. They haven't done any lately, but
Yeah, it's been, what, 12 years since
something
that
like
came out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for some reason it's still popular, like on TikTok and stuff. It's weird.
Hmm.
Like my daughter
Interesting.
wanted a little what is he called? Sad Sack Man?
Sackboy.
Sack Boy? Sad Sack
Yeah.
Boy? Yeah. So I got her a vintage one, like in the package.
That's cool.
But yeah, that whole world, you might really like that if you look it up. It's just very macro, and like the textures are really fun and stuff. So, do you plan on doing anything like a short or anything like that?
I probably should. I sometimes struggle with coming up with concepts for my own personal work.
It's hard.
I get that. Yeah.
Sometimes it's easier to get a client and have them tell you what to do. You just put it on
100%.
autopilot. But,
Yeah, the freedom gives me sometimes some creative paralysis.
Have you done anything with AI? Have you tried it out?
Mm-mm.
How do you feel
No.
about it? I guess is the first question.
Horrified.
That's a good feeling. That's a understandable feeling.
Right.
Some
Yeah.
of the
It's
stuff
very cool, but
Yeah.
it's frightening.
Yeah. Some of the stuff Don Allen Stevenson was showing off as I lose my light this past week is just awesome. Amazing. I can't even believe that's happening.
Yeah. I saw him doing that, and then there's a couple TikToks that I don't remember if I came across it and sent it to you, Matt, or the
I
other
came
way,
across it, but you sent it to me as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And there were like clips of Don Allen in there, and I was like, we need to catch up with him too, because
Yeah, we do.
a lot has changed in like literally a year.
He has always been like right on the cusp of trying every new technology that comes out.
right.
That dude is crazy talented, and just he loves to experiment. I wish I had. He probably doesn't have kids.
I was literally
You know?
gonna say that's the thing, right? Is that he
Yeah.
doesn't have kids and he's young.
Give me 1
so
second. I
he
gotta
can-
run for just a second.
Okay. He's got to go fix his garage. In the meantime, let's talk about the meetup group.
Yeah, it's a group that one of the artists in the Atlanta area, David Dodge, started, and we do like a once a month meetup usually. And in the last couple of weeks, my friend Drew Smoot and I have decided to step up and take on some of the leadership duties for the group.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a promo that I made for our meetup on Thursday. And this is all just kind of playing off of the branding and the vibe of the event, or of the venue that we're going to. So it's renovated auto shops that they turned into just kind of a cool outdoor bar with a stage that you can see that's like made up
okay.
out of those shipping containers.
Uh-huh.
So that's where that idea came from.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and so it was just kind of a fun way to tie in the venue with a motion piece.
You got prizes by Pixel Lab. That's fun.
Yes.
That's cool. Ease 34 West Side Motor Lounge, February 23rd, 7 through 10 p.m. And see, we're talking about more meetups in person. That's awesome.
Yes, we were doing video chats at the beginning of COVID,
Yeah.
and this is better.
Yeah, the video chats were okay at first, but then, once that whole, like, people were doing it for fun, like, hey, let's hang out on video, and then, like, Zoom became such a big thing that it's like, oh, not another. Even the just, regular casual hangouts became kind of a chore,
Yeah, at the very beginning, we were using something called House Party, I think.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that came and went.
Anthony asks, what are some of your favorite modeling tools and methods for doing little details like sculpting? Wanted to know if you use PolyPen or...
Oh, yeah. I was going to say PolyPen's probably the tool that I use the most. It's just so flexible, and it lets you switch between all the different modes really easily. And I've got key commands set up for switching between polygon, point mode, and edge mode.
Do you feel like you're better at one thing than another when it comes to modeling? Like maybe like the difference between like, hard surface as opposed to something more organic?
With the sculpting tools, organic stuff is pretty doable. I used the sculpting tools on the monster from the Rick and Morty thing. That really opens a lot of doors as far as organic modeling.
It's still hard for me though. I try, but I don't know. I'm just not good at it. Like I know how to use the tools, but I just don't know how to do the art part of it. Have you used like real modeling clay or anything before?
Not recently.
No.
Obviously, we had foundation classes at SCAD, so we did some sculpture classes and.
Oh, see, you've at least had that. Like to me, I feel like people who've had like real experience, hands-on, have an easier time, doing that in cinema or ZBrush or anything,
Yeah, one thing I have not done much at all lately is drawing. I haven't done much of that in quite a while. And that's definitely something I would like to get back into. But then I have like this long list of stuff that I want to learn on the computer.
Like what?
Just like ZBrush, and I'd really like to get into Marvelous Designer.
That's hard to get into too, I feel like, because it changes too much. Like it's hard on the tutorials online. They're all like different versions, and like it's weird. I don't know if it's any better now. It's been probably 3 years or so, but have you messed around with it at all, or?
Not at all. I've watched some tutorials, but I have not actually gotten into the program yet.
I just wish they'd make some of the functions easier, and maybe they have in the last 3 years. I don't know, but my problem when I was on it is that I don't know, it was probably 2018 maybe, something like that. 2018, and I'm looking at a 2017 tutorial, and it's just like not anywhere near the same. It's like, okay, right click on this in this menu, and you're like, that menu doesn't even exist anymore. So hopefully that's better now. I still see a lot of people using it like it's the thing to use, and I'm kind of envious of those people because it looks fun, but I don't know how they do it, how they learn with the interface changing so much.
Yeah, well, we'll see what it looks like when I finally get around to buying it and learning it.
Anything else? ZBrush, you already mentioned ZBrush. Is there anything else you're looking to learn?
I think I could always use more practice doing UVs. The new tools in C4D, they're way better than they used to be, and I feel like I actually have my brain wrapped around it. But
so what type of work did you do in your previous contract years?
Let's see. I did some work, some stage graphics for Home Depot. I think I did that a couple of years in a row. And then just like small jobs.
Is that like for presentations, like corporate events and stuff?
Yeah, it's a big corporate event every year. I think every year. maybe not every year now, I don't know, but they have a store managers meeting where they have all the executives come and do presentations. And the times that I've done it, it's been a huge screen. It's like modular LEDs that they put together, and it was like 140 feet or something like that.
And how do you, like, I guess a lot of people don't realize that, like, there are a lot of these corporate events too.
Yeah.
You know, especially in the big corporations, and there's a lot of like good money to be made doing stuff like that. You know, it's not all just like the glamorous, you know, TV stuff or whatever. It's like there's so much you can do. Like, and I think people who aren't really into graphics yet, or kind of know about it or dabbling in it, may not realize that there's like all these other areas that you can go into that you may have not even heard of, and there's good money in it too.
Yeah, it was really interesting to design for that because the screens were all really odd sizes. Because they had some that they called the fingers, which were just like these super long horizontal screens that came out from the stage. And so that was kind of interesting to design in that way. Because, I mean, we're so often in the 16:9 world that was just kind of an interesting way to look at the overall picture of what was happening.
And there's a lot of fun things you can do now that LED is bigger, right? Like,
sorry, y'all.
LED walls are not necessarily, I guess, well, they're kind of cheaper, but relatively cheaper now, and people use them for things like floors and everything else on a stage. So there's like weird formats, there's all sorts of stuff you have to like figure out to make it work together, but it's a good industry to be in too.
You talking about the LED walls you've been doing?
Not that I've been doing, but just in general, I have been working on some. But yeah, there's a lot of money to be made in that industry too, and it's stuff that a lot of people don't realize. And not just, we were talking about more about corporate.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But also stuff like, you know, concert visuals and things.
Yeah,
that's the same thing.
Once you get in, I think once you get in really good with like one of those concert visual companies, they'll use it all the time. You know. Oh, sorry, I'm all out of breath. Had to run upstairs, and I'm a fat guy. You know.
We sit at our desks all day, so.
All day.
Yeah. You okay there?
Yeah, sorry. How's the MoGraph scene in Atlanta?
It's pretty awesome. We've got some really great, talented people in the area, and this meetup group is a really great way to meet people. Obviously, the name.
Oh, you missed that part, Matt.
Oh, I did.
Talking about the meetup. We were talking about the meetup group.
Yeah. Didn't you started that? Didn't you?
I did not start it, but David Dodge was the original founder, and now there's 3 of us that are kind of splitting some of the admin duties for the group.
When it comes to like getting, he's gone again. I don't know what happened. When it comes to getting people to come to the events, you know, I know that's always a hard thing for people because we talk to a lot of group leaders. Yeah. And they're like, I don't know how to find those people. I don't know how to find the people that we need to come
without having to spend money on advertising or something like that. Yeah.
Right. I mean, how do you go about like finding new people to come to the event?
The attendance has been kind of up and down. Sometimes it's been a lot of people. We've had different types of events. A lot of them have been at studios where the studio gets to talk about what they do and show their work. But then with COVID, we ended up going to a little bit more casual format where it was just kind of pick a place and everybody come and hang out. But we're trying to push a little bit more in the future, doing some more studio events.
Yeah, I've been throwing around the idea of just doing more just meetups, you know, where it's like, hey, let's all hang out and grab a beer together or something like that, because, you know, Dave and I have almost always made it an event, you know, to come and hang
Right.
out, and there's presentations and stuff. That's how we like to party. That's how we like to do
Right.
events and stuff. But it's like it doesn't take that much just to say, hey, we're all gonna go grab a beer at so and so,
Right.
at 7:00 at this day.
That's it.
Let's all meet up. Yeah.
Right.
No expectations, no nothing.
Yeah.
And it's great because it gives everyone a chance to just. I wish there was more of that, because it gives
Yeah.
everyone a chance just to chat and talk, and you can talk shop with people that you don't necessarily see all the time.
Yeah.
Yep. Everybody likes to nerd out.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
But we've done a few things where David arranged to do a teach and tell thing,
Mm-hmm.
where he picked, I guess it was like 5 of us to do just a mini presentation, and then the rest of the time it was just kind of hang out and have beers. And
That's cool.
Yeah.
we've been talking about some of the stuff that we're planning to do in the future, and we've got some ideas for some special events.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Because we've got the SCAD Atlanta campus right near where all of us are, so
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it might be fun to try and tie in something with that.
Well,
For
we
sure.
should talk to you.
Yeah.
About the tour.
Yeah.
I think we're going to Atlanta. I think.
Are
Pretty
we?
sure we're going to Atlanta. I thought we
Atlanta.
were talking about it. See, it's not finalized.
Savannah?
So
Savannah. I think we're going to Savannah.
is that where we're
I don't-
going?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't
There's
Yeah,
know.
too
then-
many. There are so many places. We're hitting 17 different cities
Yeah.
Over
And-
how long?
for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
From April till the end of the year,
Yeah.
we're hitting 17 different cities. Right now it's planned 17 different cities, US, Canada, and Europe. And it's like, all right.
Yeah. It's a lot, but we're gonna make it happen. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, bringing back that whole community feel. Just getting back out there and meeting people. Oh, Timothy says that your max on video on proxies is awesome.
Oh, sweet. Thanks.
I'm trying to remember what you did in that. That was for the Rick and Morty thing, right?
Yeah, that was all part of the same Maxon presentation.
And you used proxies in what way? Were you using XREFs or were you doing a different way? Or
was
is this
using
Redshift proxies?
I was using Redshift proxies and just instances. Working with instances
Mm-hmm.
makes huge scenes way more manageable.
Can you do instances of Redshift proxies?
You can,
Mm.
Interesting.
or at least I say I think so. I'm pretty sure I have, because I've made a proxy with a proxy in it before.
Yeah.
Yo, dog, I heard you like
I
proxies.
heard you like proxy. That's funny.
So,
So one thing I wish Octane could do was instances of instances.
right.
But you got to make sure where
Well,
your
you can do an
instance
instance
is.
of an instance, but you can't do a render instance.
We can't do a render instance of a
Or
render
no,
instance.
or you have to do
Yeah.
I don't know. One
You
of
can
the
do
two.
instances of
The other way.
instances, but you can't do render instances of render instances.
Right.
Like it
That's
has to be there
That's
can
it.
only be one render instance in the workflow.
Yeah. There can be only one.
There can be only one.
Timothy also asks, how long did you have to work on that project? Rick and
That's
Morty.
a good
one?
question.
Oh, I don't even remember. I think it was probably a month or so.
Okay. And were you spearheading that whole project, or did you have a team that you were working with or assigning people, or were you in charge and like doling out the work, or what?
Yeah, I mean, I was mostly in charge. I did have some help with posing, which when we were talking about it being mostly a still life, I did a lot of posing using Mixamo.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so loaded that up in the auto rigger, and then it let me make a lot of different, because we were repeating Rick and Morty over and over again, so having that to do a lot of variations made it a lot more manageable.
Yeah, that's cool. So did you just like take individual poses from some of the stock ones in Mixamo and then just freeze them at a specific time and you're like, okay, that's good? Or did you have to like go even more in depth and like pose it a whole lot more?
It was a mix of both.
Yeah.
I mean, some of that stuff I just brought it straight in and deleted all the keyframes, and that was that.
Yep.
But having the auto rigger available makes it to where like I didn't really have to rig any of them.
Right.
Yeah.
I I don't even remember the name of them, but those bugs, like the the bugs that were in the war scene.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What are those?
Bromaflight? maybe?
They're bureaucrats. They what?
Oh, yeah.
You told me they were robots. Yeah, they're bureaucrats. They
It's
they're basically
metaphorical.
robots.
It was metaphorical.
It's metaphorical.
Call his
I
wife
think those
and
actually
kids.
did end up getting rigged though, because those were not something that they had pre-made
Mhm.
poses for.
The Glazorpians or something. Or
The
whatever it is.
Gazorpazorps.
Gaz-
No.
No, it's not the Gazorpazorps.
That's
Gazorpazorp Field. Gosh, what are they called? Because that's what Michael Crambobulus or whatever Crambobulus Michael is, right? Just love
I
killing.
think so.
Isn't that one of those guys with the wings? I don't know. Welcome to the
I'm gonna look it up.
Rick and Morty show.
Grompholites? No,
Sure,
that's
I
not
don't
right.
know.
No, I think that's right. I think that is it.
Is it?
Is it?
I think so.
Grompholites. Yeah. From Gromflo Prime.
But they're all dead now, right?
I don't
Are
think
they
they're
all dead now? I thought they were. Matt, is there a
Yeah,
meetup in
no
Dallas this week or no?
Yes. For anyone who's interested, we were probably going to try and meet up on Tuesday. Sorry, Wednesday. Wednesday night at 7 at a place called Siren Rock here in Rockwall. So we've got a few people coming to town. So I figured I'd just put that out there. I need to hit up everyone who I know is in Dallas.
Right.
We need a Dallas specific,
My
thing. I
family
put it-
lives in Dallas, so I'll have
Oh,
to
they
get
do?
that schedule from
Come
you.
on, fly in. Come hang out with us.
Yeah, come on.
That's
Wednesday.
an easy flight, right? Delta's Atlanta. Is that it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
Wednesday.
I've made that flight there and back in a day. So
And then from there, you just go back, and the next day is your event, right? I'm pretty sure it's Thursday, right? So just
there you go.
all events. No big deal. You don't have anything
Yeah.
else to do. You're not going freelance or anything anytime soon.
Yeah, and all my materials are perfectly up to date.
Yeah. Yeah. We're hoping that we can start helping people too in the year. People getting others to show up, because like if you go back to God, what year was it? 2010, maybe even 2011, somewhere in there. I had bought the domain name DFWC4D because I wanted to do something like I saw was going on in Chicago with half res, I'm like,
Chicago
that'd be
C4D,
so
yeah.
right. And Chicago C4D, I'm like, look, these are people I didn't know anybody at
Yeah.
that time. I hadn't met Matt yet. I was like, I don't know
true.
anybody that
His
does
whole life
this.
changed when he met me.
That's true. That's true.
Not for the better.
Not for the
maybe.
better. But like, I held on to that domain name because I'm like, I want to do this. I want to find these people who can nerd out like me, and that was like a big deal. So I held on to that for years and years, and finally we were able to get something going. So we still have a mailing list from DFWC4D. We should probably hit those people up. There's a lot of artists here now, already been choosed in Dallas, and so you got who else is here? Ryan Talbot's here.
Yeah.
Who else?
Sasha Vinogradova.
Oh, that's right. She's
Yep.
here now too.
She's here.
That's so random.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I know she'll go do brewery hopping. She loves to do that with EJ.
Yeah. Who else? I
Who
should hit
else
up
is
BJ
here?
and be like, dude, just fly down for Wednesday. Come hang out with us.
Yeah. Let's get him out here. As long
Costs
as it's a
60
brewery,
bucks. Right. It is a brewery.
Yeah.
You know?
That's
Yeah,
true.
we've been making the rounds around Atlanta breweries. The last several events have been at breweries.
That's
And
funny.
yeah, and the idea of just like hanging out is cool, and we're hoping we're hoping we can help people connect with each other here pretty
Yeah.
soon, and be able to set these things up. I know, like Vernon told us he did do a little bit of like Facebook advertising and stuff to get out there.
I haven't
Obviously,
looked into that. I've heard that's not terribly expensive.
It's not
Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
terribly expensive, but you can't focus your advertising like you used to.
you can't retarget like you used
Yeah.
to, but you could still get stuff out there to people who have interests in motion graphics, and like you can do like After Effects. At least you get people's interests from a list and say, you know, blast this out to those people.
Yeah.
You know, that might get some more people. But
We also have a Slack that we
That's cool.
communicate through.
Yeah.
And it's nice. It's got like 300 members, I think.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
good. That's really good.
yeah,
Man, I wish I knew 300 people in the Dallas area.
I know.
I wish I knew 300 people.
Well, if anybody is listening from Dallas, you know, hit us up. You can, I believe we still have dfwc4d.com.
We do. Yeah.
And you can put your name on the list.
Yeah, or email me if you got questions. Email me, matt@mograph.com or
Yeah.
info@mograph.com. That'll go to both me and Dave.
Yeah. I know it's short notice or whatever, but
Yeah.
you know, cool. All right, let's see if I have anything else. Oh, I wanted to mention just a random oddity I had with After Effects, and I'm trying to figure out now if this has to do with, like, have you opened After Effects and have you seen there is a message that comes up, and it talks about an error in the new version of After Effects and your video driver. You
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about?
Yep,
Have
I get
you
it all the
seen
time.
that? Hey, Kat.
Yep.
Yeah.
I get it all the time because I got it when I changed video drivers recently because I was getting a lot of crashes. It was it with, I can't remember. I was getting a lot of crashes for some reason, and so I updated my video drivers and updated them to an older video driver. You know, the one that everyone says, hey, use this one because this is the most stable with Redshift and it doesn't have the memory leaks and blah blah blah. But After Effects always gives me the pop-up that says your memory driver is out of date, you know, blah blah blah.
I don't know what's going on with mine, but I had a really weird issue and I didn't know if it was related, and that's I had designed like 6 different comps, right? And they were all essentially just variations of an animation. So nothing was different about them except for the image sequence that was feeding it from Cinema 4D when the render goes. And so I do that, and then all of a sudden when I render it out full res at like 2K or 2.5K, all of a sudden it would get to this one part on the timeline and it would crash everything. You couldn't even Control-Alt-Delete.
What version of After Effects are you on?
This particular one, I mean, I have 23, but I was on 22 because...
Okay. So I have run into
getting that
issues
error.
with both. I didn't realize my dog was in here. I saw a shadow behind me. I'm like, what is going on? No, I have noticed this. So ever since they introduced multi-thread rendering, you know, sometimes it will work and sometimes it will crash your system, right? So there have been multiple times where like it says it's going to take like 6 hours or it completely freezes in the middle of it and like I can't do anything. So I turn off multi-frame rendering and it takes a little bit longer, but it actually chugs all the way through.
I wonder if that's my problem.
100%.
See,
I guarantee
I'm talking
you.
like even if I send it to Adobe Media Encoder, it does it. It's always on the same frame.
Oh yeah, I don't ever
Right?
send anything to Adobe Media Encoder.
Well, either or. Like this was just a sample, but like we're talking it crashes everything. The mouse doesn't move anymore. You can't hit Control-Alt-Delete. It's the mouse moves like every 3 seconds, you know?
Yeah. I would try turning off multi-frame rendering, you know, just temporarily. If there's times in which it works really well and it's super fast, you know, especially on this new Mac Studio. And there are other times where it's just like, nah, I'm not going to work. I'm just not going to work today.
Yeah.
So I have to turn it off and just render it slower.
The weird thing about it is I narrowed it down to a specific layer, and all it is like a simple render with alpha, very basic, right? But if I turn it on and then I turn on the layers above it and I play it, and then I turn on a couple more layers, you know what I'm saying? And then I turn off the solo for all the layers so everything's back on, then it will render. It's like a startup sequence.
So
Just
weird.
Very weird. I've never come across something like that before. That was
Well,
a new
After
one.
Effects.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to do a little thing here called MoGraph Recommends, and we ask you some of your favorite things. These can be like recent favorites or all-time favorites. It doesn't matter. Helps us get to know your background a little bit more, your influence, maybe in some of your work. Unless it's Rick and Morty, because, you know.
Right. Then we know your work.
Yeah. So we're going to start off, though, by asking you favorite movie.
That's a really, really hard one. I think that Jurassic Park has always held up for me.
Mm-hmm.
You're one of those Jurassic Park people, huh?
Yeah. I actually saw a live performance of it that I can't remember exactly who did it, but they recreated everything, including like the previews from the VHS.
Wow.
It was like done very low budget with like just cardboard cutouts and
That's so funny.
Cardboard cutouts of like T-Rexes and stuff.
Yeah.
With the arms the wrong way. Now
there was somebody playing a tree who unfortunately fell off the stage while it was...
That's funny.
I hope somebody was taping that.
That was really entertaining. I think more recently, though, I love Ex Machina.
I haven't seen it. I need to see it. I've heard good things.
I like that genre of humanoid robots becoming sentient.
Right. Have you watched Westworld?
Yep.
Okay. Have you watched all the seasons?
Yes.
Okay.
And I was really hoping that I would get like a nice, neat wrap-up.
Right.
Has it been canceled?
It's not coming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think I heard that. Yeah, the last season I didn't finish. It was weird.
Season 3 and whatever. Season 3 was kind of going downhill a little bit.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, I got what they were trying to do. Never mind. I could go off for a while on this.
Yeah.
Basically, Reddit ruined Westworld because Reddit figured out the ending of season 1 before it had happened, and he was so mad about it that he decided to just mind F everyone and like make it more confusing. Season 2 and 3 and whatever,
Yeah.
It's like at that point you couldn't figure out where the show was going. I couldn't follow it very well.
Yeah.
It became a Lost situation where every episode was relatively good, but when you put it together as a congruent series, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Well, I was hoping that it would all come full circle and we would see the end.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like anything to me. I enjoyed it. I was going to ask you something else about movies, but I forgot. Oh, no, we were talking about Jurassic Park. I was going to say, did you hear that like the arms have all been backwards all this time?
Have they?
They just came out with that apparently. So, because the question's always been, why are their arms so small? Well, it's because they were actually wings, and they should have been flipped backwards the other way.
Oh.
So they actually just had feathers, and this is like a new thing. So now every picture, every skeleton is wrong. Apparently.
Interesting.
Allegedly.
Won't
age well,
funny.
right? Next week it'll be something else.
Every time I think about that, I think about that episode of Voyager. Do you know the Voyager episode when like a version of the Doctor, the holographic Doctor, like it gets ejected from, it's like the backup of him gets ejected onto this other planet or whatever, and so there's this museum talking about Voyager and how they were like carnivores, just like killing machines going across it's a really weird episode, but like it just goes to show that like we could just be making all this up,
right?
We really have no idea.
Grand conspiracy.
Same with the dinosaur episode in Rick and Morty, where they keep on going to all the different planets, and they're like, we think they died because they kept stomping on their own skulls.
Right. All right. TV show.
I never played the game, but I have been watching The Last of Us.
Yeah. I hear good things.
I haven't watched it yet.
I only played the first little bit of the game,
There have been some moments where I've gotten pretty emotional.
Yeah.
But that's not hard for me. I cry at almost everything.
I did like that it's set in Austin in the video game at the beginning of the first one.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I remember, so like Dave bought The Last of Us, right? And we were having a big Halo day over at Dave's place. this your old place.
I don't even remember this. All right.
Don't remember this? So like we put on The Last of Us and I was playing it, right? And so we're all joking around, blah blah blah, and then you get to the end of that whole beginning thing, and all of us were just silent.
Oh gosh, that's funny. I don't even remember that. Jeez. I remember having a Halo day, but
yeah.
All right. Music.
I really like I've described my musical taste as something with synthesizers and high-pitched voices.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah. You probably like some of my playlists that I have for doing graphics then. Do you listen to music while you work, or is that distracting?
I do, yeah. I have my Spotify list that I keep adding to as the Discover Weekly tracks catch my attention.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good at getting my interest based on what I listen to, because I have weird interests, and I think it manages. Matt's like, yes, you do. Yeah, because it will be like Drake followed by, I don't know, Steely Dan followed by
some sort of dubstep something.
Yeah, a little Skrillex followed by Jerry Rafferty.
Yeah,
Matt hates that song.
No, I hate that song.
Do you listen to any podcasts or anything as well, or?
Not really. Not too much. Nope.
All right, then I won't ask you your favorite podcast.
All right. Your favorite is this one.
That's right.
Definitely.
Default.
Is that a Jedi mind trick?
Yes.
Your favorite is this one.
Favorite is this one. It works over the internet, surprisingly.
Yeah, it's weird.
The midi-chlorians go
I was
across
gonna
the
say,
internet.
Yeah. What about favorite plugin that's not a render engine?
I mean, all the trap code, those are all classics.
Throw Shine on everything.
Hey, I used Shine this week. Don't knock it.
Watch your render times go down significantly, or increase significantly every time you use it.
Yeah.
I use a lot of looks, a lot of optical glow.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, there's always a client that's like, hey, can you make it kind of like shine a little? And it's like, well, here you go. And they're like, cool, we're good to go.
Oh, that's great. Exactly what I was thinking. What's that plugin? Shine. Just Shine.
Yeah.
Default settings.
Yeah. Default settings.
Yeah.
What is your muscle memory go-to app right now? Pick up your phone and you're on.
Probably. It's where I read Reddit most of the time.
Same.
And do you play?
Instagram, Pinterest. Those are go-tos.
What are some of your favorite Reddit subreddits?
Cats with jobs.
Oh, that's a good one.
Cats with jobs. I don't even know what that is. Do you know what that is, Matt?
No. But it
that?
sounds interesting. I'm going to join it.
It's just cats doing cat things that people caption with like, oh, he's a professional something or other. Like a cat sleeping on a keyboard that's a cat doing some kind of accounting work.
Cat accounting, cat demolition.
Cats with jobs.
I can imagine there's a lot of demolition, just knocking things off of counters.
Wow, there's like 1 million members. That's hilarious.
It's cute. It's
this is
silly.
his first job. He's so nervous.
Do you play any video games?
No, I don't have any. We don't even have a console.
Oh man.
Is that what people call them these days? Still?
Yeah.
Is that you kids playing that Nintendo?
Nintendo.
What did people? Nintendo is what?
Super Nintendo Chalmers.
Super Nintendo Chalmers. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Turtles.
Oh gosh, that always just irked me so bad when I was a kid. What is a ninja?
Ninja.
Like parents would say it because they didn't know what it was. The Ninja Turtles, and I'm like, what are you talking
Turtles.
about? I heard that from a lot of people, and it really irked me. Matt's been playing that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I did, yeah, on the NES. But I can only really play if I play. There's a brontosaurus.
That cat is an accountant.
Yeah. I can only really play it with the Game Genie because, like, honestly, it's just too hard.
Yeah.
You know, there are too many games that take a really long time to beat, you know? And like Mario 3, for example. Mario 3 is an excellent game, but it takes so long to beat it if you're not like jumping levels, right?
Right.
Like, who has time? And there's no save function with Mario 3. It's like, that is ridiculous.
Isn't there
That
a
is
secret save
ridiculous.
function, just like there
No,
was in
there's
part
no.
1?
Unless
Part
you
1
get
did.
Mario All-Stars for the Super Nintendo,
Oh,
you know.
All right.
But it's pretty crazy.
It
So
taught
like,
us
and I'm like,
patience.
how do all these people have time for this? So you play original Mario. It's like, okay, you could just run through that. You know, that's good. That's easy. That's
But
why
here's-
I think that's actually, you know, that's my favorite game
But here's the thing.
currently.
It's the early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
It's a summer morning.
Okay.
The warm sun is coming through. It's
Mhm.
about 7 a.m. You got up to watch cartoons.
Right, of course.
You know, you had your cereal. There's nothing
Mhm.
else to do for the next 12 hours.
Yeah, you
Play Mario.
go to. Yeah, I know.
Well, yeah,
yeah.
you might get on your bike,
That's
but you play
true.
Mario in between.
That's true. That's true.
yeah.
all right.
there's
I
Maybe
used to
nothing
it's
just
just
sit
'cause
and
I'm
watch my
old.
sister play, and that's gotta be the biggest waste of time.
Mhm.
I don't know. You were onto something. Now it's like a whole industry. Just watching
Yeah.
people play video games.
That's true.
Yeah.
Dude, the amount of Minecraft my kid watches is
Yep.
ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
My sister used to play the radio instead of the game sound, so Rainbow Road and Ace of Base are like burned
That's
in
funny.
my
There you go.
That's funny.
All right, here's the tough one. And this is your favorite life hack. It could be funny or it could be useful. Mitch Meyer says he turned the toaster on its side for some bomb-ass grilled cheese. Do you have any good hacks for us? Productivity or maybe something funny or stupid? It doesn't matter.
Freezing bread.
Freezing bread.
Yes.
How
It's
do
always
you-
ready to go. You can
How
have
do you
stale or
defrost it though?
Yeah, that's the big
20
question.
seconds in the microwave, and then under the broiler, good as new.
Okay.
Under the broiler. All right.
Like in the oven broiler?
Yeah, toasted
Okay.
sandwiches.
Interesting.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
It doesn't get stale.
Keeps it from getting stale. It's perfect.
Hmm.
I always thought if you froze it for too long, you would like frostbitten or something.
I buy the big, like, crusty baguettes. Cut it down into
Ah.
sandwich size.
On baguette.
Yeah, cut it down to sandwich size. Like, pre-cut it, slice it in the middle, so
Mhm.
that then you just pull out enough for one sandwich and 20 seconds in the microwave.
Timothy in the chat says there was a dorm that caught on fire this week because of that toaster life
That's a
hack.
toaster life hack. Well,
We don't condone any of the advice that any of our guests or
They s-
ourselves give.
they said the grilled cheese was the bomb. Yeah. Anywho, yeah, and I've got to clean out my. I'm not going to be able to put any toast or bread in my freezer because I've got to clean out mine because Dryzen is bringing me
Yes.
a significant portion of a cow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
You gotta
you gotta
get one
try
of those
that.
chest freezers.
I know.
I have one of
Yeah.
those. I have one of those.
The problem is
Yeah.
the electrical in my house.
Yeah.
That's the problem. The electrical isn't that bad. It's just everything in the front yard, backyard, master bedroom, master bathroom, and garage is
gosh.
all on one breaker. So as soon as I fire this other fridge up, I think if I turn the smoker on, it's gonna turn off. So
Oh, boy.
I'm gonna have to get an electrician. Dang it!
You got to try
We
that
just
pork
had to do
belly
that
thing
same
that I sent
thing.
you.
Really, like separate breakers.
Yep.
Oh,
We
it's
got
a
we
pain.
got a Tesla and we burned
Nice.
through all of the like, the electrician came out and he was
Oh.
like, "Do you realize how many things you have plugged in here?" I'm like, "Well, I guess."
He's
He was like,
scolding
"You should know better than to have all this plugged in." And we're like,
No,
"Oh,
they don't teach you that in high
Yeah.
school. Come on.
No, they don't.
We had
They
a
teach you,
fridge.
you plug in, energy comes out. They don't
Yeah.
tell you about how much you can or can't plug in, right?
He
If it
did
doesn't-
kind of scold us, and I was like, all right, fine, just fix it."
Mm. That's
It's the
funny.
American way. If it doesn't work, you sue.
Oh man.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us today and
Mm-hmm.
taking the time. I know you've got a lot going on and a lot that you're starting to build here for
Mhm.
round 3, contract round 3.
Round 3, yeah.
Yeah.
If
Thanks
peop-
for having me.
Yeah.
If people want to find you online, where can they find you?
My website is kelceysteele.com, and I'm working on increasing my presence on Instagram.
Cool.
You got you got the TikToks yet?
No, I don't even have it downloaded.
Oh, you're missing out.
Yeah.
So I've
Yeah.
heard.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
You're missing out on not wasting lots of time.
Right.
But it's a fun waste of time. I don't know. Cool. Well, we're going to get out of here. You can rate us on iTunes, leave a review, subscribe on your podcatcher of choice, help get our ratings up. You can subscribe to the newsletter because Matt's going to be putting them out.
I am.
Gosh,
Once
I
a week, maybe every other week, maybe once a month. We'll see.
I
We'll see
wish
what hits
that
my fancy.
MailChimp had some better templates is what I wish.
I know. That's one thing that I really want to look at is like more mail templates and stuff
Right.
like that. See if I can just bring in custom ones or something,
Right.
you know?
Or a different service.
Yeah.
Or, Mail kind. Free advertisement. You can say you've been there,
Right.
done that, got the t-shirt with the MoGraph logo tee, the Paul Babb Feel the Bab 2020 shirt. All the profits from that go to Doctors Without Borders. The Render Things t-shirt, hoodie, and long sleeve tee, the MoGraph Blandishment shirt, and of course the That Render is Fire shirt, which you're only allowed to wear, ironically.
Unless you're Shams.
Hi,
Yeah.
Cat.
Okay.
We're on youtube.com/MoGraph. You can hit us up on YouTube at MoGraph. That's right, at MoGraph.
Mhm.
And MoGraph.com, MoGraph.com/live, MoGraph.com/TV, MoGraph.com/classes. Check out the classes we offer there. And, of course, MoGraph.com/TV. You can turn it on and rip the knob off and just watch
Mhm.
all day,
All
24/7.
day, every day, right
Yeah,
here.
all day. There it is. And yeah, that about wraps it up. We can't wait to see everybody from Dallas this
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Hopefully.
And
I'm going to start
everybody,
sending invites to everyone.
yeah, and everybody at ATL, right, on Thursday,
Mhm.
the 23rd. Yeah. And that's about it. Till next time, I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt.
And I'm Kelcey Steele.
Have a good one.
Later, yo.
All right, stand by here. I'm going to turn off the things.
So the garage guy gets here, right? And he
Uh-huh.
goes out and he looks at it and goes, oh, this is one of these ones.
Oh, boy.
And I'm like, oh, no, he's going to tell me the same thing that first guy told me. He goes, yeah, this will be about $400. I'm like, okay. An extra $55.
Unless you're a stone cutter.
Right.